Let's simplify the Queen Charge Hybrid for you and how you can earn more 3 stars with the Hybrid. What's going on, guys? My name's Corrupt. Let's walk you through the Queen Charge Hybrid, one of the best attacks to use at Town Hall 12. But before we do so, make sure to use code Corrupt in any Supercell game. Now, what are you looking for if you are going to be using the Queen Charge Hybrid? Well, very simple. You first want to take a look at the clan castle. This is going to be the biggest indication that you have. So you want to use this as a visual indication. Take a look at what is around this clan castle. Stuff like the Eagle Artillery, Wizard Towers, and you could create a nice solid funnel by just getting rid of this area of the base. That is everything that you would need to get. You don't want to go towards the town hall since you're not guaranteed the town hall, and it's not really worth doing so. So by making sure that you're able to use the hybrid to get in for the Eagle Artillery, since that's going to be the closest structure. Now you may be wondering, why do they have something like the Builder Hut and the Archer Towers in their own compartment? Well, that's to defend these super wall breakers. You want to be able to easily try to defend them that way, so that way they're going for a lesser compartment instead of a main one. But that unfortunately didn't work in this case, where he's able to use the Queen Charge to enter in for the Eagle Artillery. That's a huge amount of value right there. Getting rid of the Eagle is something that you always need to go in for. But if you're able to get rid of the enemy clan castle troops like you see here, and being able to get through an enemy lava hound with no problem at all, is exactly what you want to try and do, making it easier for everything to work through. Then you've got a nice solid path already being created. Now this one is a symmetrical base, so if you were to cut it down the middle, you can hit from this side or this side with the hybrid. It doesn't matter, but make sure that you're creating the funnel on the opposite side. So you want to make sure that your path here, while the queen moves in, is going to look like this, going in away from the town hall. It may be a little scary, but you want to take it very slowly. So you want to be able to use the warden to go in right behind with them. So you want to use that first heal spell. If you're going into something like a multi-inferno in this case, use that first heal, because there could be giant bombs, and you mainly want to try and protect your hogs and miners through splash. That way what you're able to do is continue to work your way into the base. The king's going to create a nice funnel, and once your siege barrack has done its job, you can then have those hog riders from that siege barrack go in with the hog riders and the miners. Now if you see a core inferno like this, you may want to use the Warden Eternal Tome, that way you're able to easily get through, and you may want to use a freeze spell so you can get through it without taking too much damage. That way what you're able to do is get right the way over into that Town Hall compartment. Now, if your Warden ability does wear off, you may want to use a couple freeze spells in order to make sure that you're able to get through it. Unfortunately, your Hog Riders will get absolutely toasted. So you want to be able to still easily get through the base, but it is still a really simple attack strategy. You just want to be able to make sure that you're able to get all the way across, and you want to get as much of the base down with your Queen Charge. That makes it a whole heck of a lot simpler when you're going in. And like in this case here, you could easily use a Yeti bomb instead of the siege barrack. And that is something that we're going to be mentioning next, as the Yeti bomb is the second best and most recommended version, I would say, in terms of using the Queen Charge Hybrid. Another way that you can spice up your Queen Charge Hybrid is by adding the use of a Yeti Bomb. This Yeti Bomb can be used on an assortment of different defenses, but the main one is going to be at least an Inferno Tower set to multi or single, it doesn't matter at all, or you can use it against the Town Hall. And that's something where if you see Bat Sweeper placement, you may want to take advantage of it. So just be very careful in terms of what you're looking for and what you're trying to get rid of. But you're using it to also help create a funnel and lure out the enemy clan castle troops. But keep in mind, you want to look at the clan castle. What can you get rid of along with it? Well, you can also get rid of the town hall. So if you see that that is an area that you want to charge into, you can do so. So you want to use a couple Cocoa Balloons, use the Rage spell, and that way what you're able to do is get right in for an Inferno. And you don't want to kill off the enemy clan castle, you don't need to. You can save the poison with your Queen Charge, but the main goal should be at least trying to get through most of the enemy clan castle, and also still making sure to get rid of as much of the base as you can. And in this case here, the next goal is just going to be going in towards the Town Hall. So at this point, where would you want to send in your hybrid? Well, you can create the funnel on the opposite side with the Yeti and the King. That way you're able to focus in for the Eagle Artillery. Usually, if you're not going into the Eagle Artillery with a Queen Charge, you're going to be using a King and Yeti possibly in order to create the funnel to make it easier. In this case, he's going to use the Yeti in order to establish a funnel. The Yeti is a great funneling troop, as the Yeti mites will take down defenses while the Yeti clears any outside structures. Pretty interesting, eh? So that way what you're able to then do is continue to start working in. Now, while your queen is kind of working through, you don't need to really focus in on her, or else you're going to get a time fail, sometimes like me. That way what you're able to then do is start sending in your hybrid. You're going to start by sending in the King to create the funnel, and then you can send your Hog Riders and Miners. The goal in this case is to have the King go in for the Inferno Tower, and it's also possible for the Miners and Hog Riders to get all the way into that Eagle Artillery. And that's exactly what you want. So you can even use leftover rage spells that you don't need with your Hog Riders and Miners. They provide a ton of support for them even while using those heal spells. So that way you're able to easily get through. And the main goal should be trying to keep as many of the Miners and Hog Riders in a group as you can. So make sure that they don't go onto the outside, or else it could spell big trouble. But for the most part here, you can still easily get through a majority of the base, including something like that Inferno Tower, to make it even easier for you to easily get triples. That's exactly kind of what you want to do, and this is my more preferred method, as the Yeti Bomb can be used even on a centralized town hall. As long as you send in the hybrid away from the sort of attack and you use it with the hybrid, you can easily get towards that town hall for an easy triple. Now also, you can use that Queen Charge to go in for the town hall if it's close to the clan castle. Keep in mind, the clan castle troops, #1 priority. #2 priority, creating a funnel. And that's really where getting rid of the town hall in this case is a good option, since it's right by the clan castle. Why would you not want to get rid of it? So you want to make sure that you're simplifying that. So you want to mainly, though, first and foremost, take a look, where can you create the funnel? You don't need to use any other spells in order to make sure to get through, but the main goal should be in order to create a solid funnel. You want to be able to use a couple sneaky goblins to get rid of any sort of resource collectors, but you want to control where your queen is going. So going in for the town hall is the obvious option, and you want to be able to get right your way into there. So by making sure that you're waiting until she's taking some constant damage before you drop in those healers. That way, if you place in the King, they won't move over to the King because he's taking a majority of the damage. So you want to be able to make sure, though, that you're able to easily continue to move into the base. You've got the use of the free spells, the poison, the rage spells, to still easily start moving in for the town hall. Once you've gotten rid of the town hall, you can then go ahead and start creating the funnel on the opposite side. So in this case here, you can again use the Siege Barrack. And in a case like this, you could also even use a Yeti Bomb to clear this part of the base if you wanted to get even more of the base down, so you could send in a hybrid this direction. That just gives you guys another example from me seeing this replay, giving you an extra option if you didn't have the use of the Siege Barrack. But once you've created enough of a funnel on one side, using the King and the Siege Barrack on the other side, you can then send in your hybrid directly in for the multi-target Inferno. Usually it's a great idea to look at this attack in terms of quadrants. So if you were to cut this up, as long as you can get to the Eagle Artillery, it's perfectly fine. That way you get rid of one quadrant, you can send in your Hogs and your Miners into another, and they can get through it like in an L shape. By using the Warden Eternal Tome over the miners and hogs to get through the core, it's exactly what you want to do. You want to make sure that you are protecting them for as long as you can. And while the queen charge is still going through and creating a good funnel for them to get right the way over to the Eagle artillery. And this is where you could use a heal spell towards the back end, keep those miners and hogs all ready to go as they're able to still easily move through. You've got to use the CC hog riders, and you've also got the miners to easily continue to move through. And you got the queen, unless of course she dies, like in this case here. But you can also have the healers swap right onto your miners and your hog riders. Unlike anything else, if you can't keep your queen alive, the healers possibly might switch over successfully to the miners and hog riders to heal them up even when you don't have your heal spells. And this is really where they can come truly into play. And this is the reason to why you should still be using the hybrid. You can pretty much force it on any base as long as you look at the clan castle. That way you can be successful for a 3-star. What if you're seeing a teaser style base like this one here? Well, it's really simple. You want to mainly try to look at, is this area trying to bait you? Is there too much DPS around this area combined with the heroes and everything else? So is it going to be too much? But also, what are you getting rid of outside the town hall? Really, almost nothing. Most of it will probably even stay up since there's so much DPS. So instead, maybe go in for an Inferno Tower. That way you can just walk your queen down that direction, making it a little bit easier for you to absolutely move in. The goal here is not necessarily to just walk your queen and to charge her way into here, but it's instead just to do a nice walk, since you don't really need to charge in for the town hall. It's around the outside. You can just easily pick it off. So those are the things that you want to consider. So you're going to start this by going ahead and using a couple balloons. You can use them to take down a defense like a bomb tower, and then you're going to be able to use the battle blimp in order to take care of an Inferno Tower. And sometimes you may not even need to use a rage spell. Like in this case here, there's no need to use a rage spell. I would use the rage on top of a town hall, but definitely not against an Inferno Tower. So you can still get through without having any problems. That way, you can then focus in on your queen charge. And this can be done by making sure that you're able to soak up any seeking air mines while you're doing your queen charge. Looking for any seeking air mines is great because you want to protect your healers. The more that you have your healers alive, the longer your charge will be able to go. So as you're dealing with an enemy clan castle like this, you want to be able to use the poison and the freeze spells in order to provide more support and to hopefully prevent the queen from losing either her ability or just losing her in general. But you want to be able to make sure that you're able to go in the right direction, and you want to make sure that you're also getting her over to the town hall. That way what you're able to do is make it quite easy for you to easily move through. Now, if you're going in for something like the enemy king, it's a smart move to bring in a headhunter. That way what you're able to do is slow the king down, so he really only gets like 1 or 2 shots in as you move through. Then you could take care of the town hall with the use of the rage, and that way you're able to keep your queen alive. Now that you know exactly that you've gotten the town hall, you've easily gotten through it, now you can send in your hybrid. You've got a solid funnel here when you enter into the base, but remember, the Eagle artillery is the biggest defense to take care of. So you want to use the Warden Eternal Tome early. That way what you're able to do is get your way through. You want to make sure that it's easy for your miners and hogs to absolutely start smashing into the base, but you also want to make sure that they're getting into that core as quickly as they can. So using the heal spell in order to make sure that you know exactly where they're going, and using the use of the Warden Eternal Tome earlier allows you to use the 2 heal spells throughout the rest of the base, making it easier for everything. Even the free spells you can use against a splash building like a multi-inferno. You want to make it even easier. Even if your queen does fall short, you're still going to be able to easily work through with the miners. The hog riders are only there to tank for your miners, and that way they can take some of the shots that the miners wouldn't, and that way the miners can actually move through the rest of it. So you got a lot of different options if you are using the Queen Charge Hybrid. You can of course add the lightning spells, or you can even go ahead and still add the use of a blizzard. But I feel like these 2 versions are way more consistent and way better. make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell for more educational yet fun Clash of Clans content here. Make sure that you guys also go ahead and use code Corrupt in any Supercell game. I'll be catching you in the next video. Corrupt, signing out.